All right, Eloro put some news out here. Some more drill holes. These are infill holes, and I think they're very important. Any infill drilling they do at this stage is critical to build up a solid resource base. And I'm going to do something really weird for everyone. I realize we're running long. It's been a long, but I hope people can be a little patient here. I'm going to show you two models. Okay, I'm going to show you Eloro, and then I got a secret surprise. Okay, share screen. There we go. Windows. Okay, hopefully that's popped up.
Yes.
Okay, this is Eloro. This is looking down on their news release, the map from the news release, this image right here, and this red oval that they have, that is kind of their core high grade area that they're focused on. They want to infill that and basically come up with a more advanced, confident resource that they can put into a starter pit. How much tonnage could you fit into a pit like this? I think you could probably stuff 150, maybe with luck 200 million tons in that general area. Okay, and infilling this data is critical because as they infill, it helps answer the questions of whether there is grade in between some of these widely spaced holes that were part of the original resource. The more data, the better the outcome. Okay, it's that simple. Now, the two holes that were in this news release are these blue dots that are over here. They're kind of teal blue there and there. One thing I'll show you, the scale bar that's in the lower right, as I zoom in and out, it changes. Okay, so you can freeze your frame and just check it out if you want to on YouTube, whatever. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the image real quick because that's kind of bogging things down, and we're going to look at the drill holes. You can see right away, just from color and intensity alone, there is an area right through here where the drill intercepts, look at these, are nice, solid, long drill intercepts. And many of these holes, most of these holes through this area have very, very stout silver polymetallic intercepts. And that is why they're focused on this area. Okay, this is critical to get this right because this is where your mine is going to start. Now you might say, well, that's fine, that's cool. But what about all this stuff down here? Or what about all this stuff up here? Look, I've made this argument multiple times. When you have a project like this, you want to start with a mine. If you build a mine, okay, if they were to come in here, identify 150 million tons that they can convert into reserves, that makes a great mine, we're off and running because then you can capitalize the mine, build it, make some money, and then you worry about the rest of all this stuff. Okay, there's heaps more stuff here, over here and over here. And yes, at some point, this whole thing will probably fall into an ultimate mine, but you got to start somewhere. Okay, and in the mining industry, we've kind of lost our way. I say they focus like a laser on this right here, get this piece into a mine. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll just cut a quick cross section just so people can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut a section right down the guts of it right here. Okay, if we tilt this up on its side and we zoom out a little bit, look at the mineralization here. It's nice, solid mineralization. You don't see a lot of black gaps in the drill holes in this area. It's pretty consistent. Okay, this is going to make a decent open pit, and it's where you start. What do I mean? Okay, well, I'm going to show you something that's we'll say we're going to do Back to the Future here. We're going to look at a mine that's not far away from Eloro here that we know good and well. Okay, that's actually been mined for about 15 years now. This is San Cristobal, and we're looking down. We're looking towards the southeast here. We're looking down at the pit. All of these little white pixie sticks you see here are drill holes that were drilled at the time that the deposit was drilled out. Okay, I'm going to tilt this up very gently. It's a very big file, and you can see that there's a lot more going on below here. Okay, now we bought this about 2.5, 3 years ago now. And one of my big pushes has been for the folks here at the mine to drill. Okay, we need to find more ore. I want to have a long future to San Cristobal. Okay, so where are we starting? Well, this area right here, you can see lots of red and stuff. These are drill holes that have been completed in about the past 6 or 8 months. And we found massive extensions of the ore. out into the wall of the pit. We're outside of the pit. This is the pit over here. This is way outside. We might have found years worth of ore. We might have another 6 or 8 years, maybe even more, maybe 10 years if we're lucky, of ore. And as I spin this around, you see there's actually some very high grades in here too. If I zoom in, I know this is probably making some people dizzy, but look at up here. Look at where this purple is up here. There's very high grades just outside of the pit. Okay, this is how ore bodies work. Okay, this is now 15 or 16 years into the mining of this pit, and we're still finding ore. Okay, so this is kind of analogous to the stuff that would be outside of the starter pit that Eloro has. You know, you develop mines gradually over time. You drill, find more, drill, find more, until you just can't do it anymore. Okay, and that's what we're doing here. This is a delightful outcome for us. We've already found multiple years worth more ore. You can see even right below the pit here, we found some. As I scroll along, by the way, we're looking northwest. Even in here, which is interesting, you can see there's a bunch of high grade tucked right there underneath the pit. Yeah, are we going to get that out? Heck yeah. Okay, this is ore. This is low hanging fruit for us. I could spend all day showing you this. There's a pretty good high grade zone tucked in right there. Look at that. Look at, holy guacamole. You know, very high grade stuff right in front of God and everybody. Okay, we have a lot of low hanging fruit. We're going to drill the bejeebers out of this place. I'm known for kind of pushing drilling in excess. Look at this, guys. Holy guacamole. This is an old portion of the pit that was abandoned 15 years ago. Okay, and look at all the high grade underneath there. Just an absolute ocean of high grade intercepts. Are we going to find more ore? Heck yeah. Okay, we got a multi-year future. But the point I'm trying to make is Eloro needs to build a pit on what they have in front of them and worry about the rest of that stuff. It's a tomorrow problem. Okay, get off. Get focused like a laser. Get the infill drilling done. Put a PFS together, then a BFS, whatever. Get this thing capitalized and get it into production. That's how you create value. All right.